Astronomers spend their lives predicting the skies, but this one caught them off guard. A light that shouldn't exist and wasn't born in our solar system, and it doesn't follow our rules. Every telescope that looks at it sees something different, and the strangest part? No one can agree on what it is, or why it's coming here. Let's make a deep dive into the Three-Eye Atlas, the interstellar mystery that's defying everything we thought we knew about space. Far beyond the planets we know, an ancient traveler is crossing paths with our solar system, a fragment of deep time older than the sun itself. For weeks, the world's most powerful telescopes have tracked its faint light as it drifts closer. Some say it's a relic from the dawn of the galaxy, while others think it might not be natural at all. But one thing's certain, it won't stay visible for long. Before it disappears behind the blinding light of the sun, we need to know what this thing is. Officially, it's called Three-Eye Atlas, the third interstellar object ever seen in our solar system, meaning it doesn't belong here. It comes from far, far away, from one of those tiny stars you see twinkling in the night sky. No one knows exactly which one, only that it likely comes from a star system twice as old as our own. The first was Oumuamua, the bizarre cigar-shaped object that streaked through our solar system in 2017. It moved too fast for gravity to hold it, spinning erratically, like it was tumbling on purpose. It didn't have the glowing tail of a comet, and it reflected sunlight in strange ways. Some scientists called it a shard of rock from a dying planet. Others thought it was a frozen fragment of hydrogen and nitrogen. But a few weren't so sure. Harvard's Avi Loeb suggested it might be something else entirely, a probe perhaps, sent by another civilization. That theory set the internet on fire, but to this day, no one can agree on what Oumuamua really was. The second visitor to Borisov was Kalmar, a classic comet, glowing with a tail of ice and dust as it raced towards the sun. It looked, acted, and even smelled like every other comet we've seen, except for one thing. It came from another star system. Still incredible, but not weird. Now, Three-Eye Atlas has arrived, and from the very moment it was spotted, it's been rewriting the rulebook. Its discovery began quietly on July 1st, 2025. A network of telescopes in Hawaii, part of NASA's Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, or ATLAS, picked up a faint moving light between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. At first, it looked like just another harmless blip, one of thousands of small objects our instruments detect every night. But then something didn't add up. The object's path didn't match the orbital patterns of anything born in our solar system. It was cutting across planetary lanes at an angle that made no gravitational sense. When astronomers dug deeper, they realized this wasn't the first time Three-Eye Atlas had been seen. It had already been captured weeks earlier on May 7th, 2025, by NASA's Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite, or TESS. That's the telescope built to find alien planets light years away, not rogue visitors drifting through our cosmic backyard. Back then, Atlas was far out, beyond Jupiter's orbit, brushing the edge of Saturn's realm, which tells us one thing: this object is fast, and really fast. To cover that much distance in just a few weeks means it's moving at tens of thousands of kilometers per hour, so fast that even gravity struggles to slow it down. And whatever it's made of, it's built to endure. To put it in perspective, when NASA sent the Voyager probes toward Jupiter, it took nearly 2 years to get there. Three-Eye Atlas made that same journey in a few months. It zipped past Jupiter in May, brushed by Mars in September, and is expected to swing past the Sun by late October. Then, by next spring, it'll already be back near Jupiter again, and gone as quickly as it came. That speed is our first clue. It's moving too fast to be captured by the sun's gravity. In other words, it's not from here. But speed wasn't the only surprise. When TESS first spotted Three-Eye Atlas, it was already glowing, bright, steady, and alive long before it should have been. Normally, comets only come to life when they get close to the sun. The heat causes frozen gases trapped inside them to vaporize, forming a hazy shell of gas and dust called a coma, and a glowing tail that streams outwards, pushed by the solar wind. But 3I Atlas broke that rule completely. Even when it was still far beyond Jupiter, in the freezing outer regions where sunlight is weak and temperatures drop to hundreds of degrees below zero, it was already active. It wasn't supposed to glow out there, not unless something was heating it up from the inside. And it wasn't a faint flicker either. The brightness was glowing day after day, as if some hidden engine was working up within it. Astronomers started to wonder, was it releasing energy from an internal source, cracking apart, or was it reacting to something we couldn't see? Then came the comet, and with it an even stranger sight. Every comet trail we've ever recorded points away from the sun, blown back by streams of solar radiation and charged particles, but this one didn't. The tail of 3I Atlas was pointing toward the sun, as if something was pulling it in, not pushing it away. It defied every rule of celestial behavior we know. Whatever Atlas was, it wasn't acting like any comet we've ever seen. Think of the sun as a giant cosmic hairdryer, endlessly blasting solar wind into the depths of space. Those streams of charged particles race outward in every direction, shaping everything they touch. For every comet we've ever observed, that wind behaves the same way. It pushes. It blows the gas and dust away, sculpting long, elegant tails that always trail behind, pointing away from the sun. But 3I Atlas refused to play by those rules. Its tail wasn't retreating from the solar wind, it was charging into it, like a dog leaning out of a speeding car window, except instead of the wind pushing its fur back, the fur was somehow stretching forward. That shouldn't be possible. Nothing we know of in physics supports that motion. It's as if the comet wasn't being pushed by the sun, but pulled towards it by some unseen force. Confused and intrigued, astronomers escalated quickly. They turned nearly every major telescope humanity has towards this one strange traveler. NASA's Hubble Space Telescope, still a workhorse of the skies. The James Webb Space Telescope, capable of reading the faintest heat signatures in deep space. Sphere X, with its capable infrared sensors built to map the chemistry of the cosmos. TESS, which had already caught its first glimpse months earlier, and dozens of ground-based observatories from Chile to Hawaii joined in. For a brief moment, the entire astronomical community focused on a single light moving silently across the sky, and what they found only deepened the puzzle. The data didn't align. Different instruments saw different things. To Hubble, 3I Atlas looked like a normal comet with a strange tilt. To Webb, it was a faint metallic glimmer like polished stone. Sphere X detected chemical signatures that didn't match any known cometary compounds. And TESS, which tracks light fluctuations, showed that Atlas wasn't just glowing, it was pulsing. Every telescope told a different story, and that made scientists realize something extraordinary. 3I Atlas wasn't just unpredictable, it was incomprehensible. The more scientists studied the 3I Atlas, the stranger it became. When the first spectral readings came in, the light signatures that revealed what something is made of gave results that stunned everyone. The cloud surrounding 3I Atlas, the coma, wasn't composed mainly of water ice like every other comet we've ever studied. Instead, it was made almost entirely of carbon dioxide, the same gas we exhale, the same one that makes up the thin atmospheres of Mars and Venus. Normally, a comet's coma contains mostly frozen water with small traces of carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. But with Atlas, the ratio was completely reversed. It was giving off 8 parts carbon dioxide for every 1 part of water vapor, a ratio that's 8 times higher than anything recorded before. To put that into perspective, it means Atlas is releasing nearly 16 times more carbon dioxide than any comet we've ever observed in our solar system's history. And that cloud, that eerie glowing shroud of gas and dust, isn't small either. Measurements showed it stretching nearly 300,000 kilometers across, almost half the diameter of the sun itself. If you placed it next to Earth, it would swallow our entire planet and the moon many times over. That kind of coma can only come from a massive source. Estimates suggest the solid body at its core, the nucleus, could be up to 46 kilometers wide. That's more than twice the size of Halley's Comet. But sheer size wasn't the strangest part. The chemistry was. Every comet we've studied within our solar system has followed the same basic recipe, a frozen mix of water, rock, and organic molecules. But 3I Atlas is inverted. Its building blocks don't fit the pattern of anything born near our sun. The only logical explanation? It must have formed in a place where the rules of creation were different, in an alien solar system, around a foreign star, where carbon, oxygen, and ice combined in ways nature never intended here. For the first time, we weren't just observing a traveler from another world, we were looking directly at the chemistry of another solar system, and it was nothing like ours. And then came the next twist. In Chile, astronomers using the Very Large Telescope, yes, that's its real name, detected something odd. Nickel metal in the object's coma, but no iron. That's impossible. Nickel and iron are cosmic twins, forged together in the hearts of dying stars, scattered across the universe by supernova explosions. They're always found together, except this time. The only place we've ever seen nickel separated from iron is here on Earth when we do it through industrial processes. So how did a natural object pull off the same trick? That's the question that sent imagination spinning. Could 3I Atlas be something else? An artificial probe? A relic of an ancient civilization? Or, as some half-jokingly suggested, a living organism, a massive space creature breathing out CO2 as it glides through the stars? No one can say for sure, and that's the beauty of it. The mystery is real. For now, space agencies are racing against time. As 3I Atlas swings past Mars, 2 European spacecraft, Mars Express and ExoMars Trace gas orbiter, will try to capture images before it disappears behind the sun. It won't be a close-up, but maybe, just maybe, we'll catch a glimpse of what lies beneath that glowing shroud of gas. Then, by December, it will re-emerge on the far side of the sun, fading fast on its way back to the stars. One final chance awaits in March 2026, when 3I Atlas passes near Jupiter again, close enough for NASA's Juno probe to maybe get a closer look. Ironically, Juno's mission was supposed to end months earlier with a crash into Jupiter's clouds, but now scientists are considering one last detour, a chase after this alien visitor before it vanishes forever. Maybe it's a comet, maybe it's something more. Whatever it is, 3I Atlas reminds us of one thing: the universe is vast, and every so often, it sends us a message, a traveler from the deep, whispering secrets we may never fully understand. And that's what makes this so thrilling. Every answer leads to another question, every discovery deepens the mystery, and somewhere out there, 3I Atlas keeps moving, silent, cold, and beautiful on its endless journey through the stars. Somewhere far beyond our reach, 3I Atlas keeps drifting, silent, cold, and beautiful on its endless journey through the stars. Maybe it's just a relic from a forgotten solar system, or maybe it's something else entirely. Either way, it's a reminder that the story of the universe is still being written, and we're only on the first page. So stay curious, keep watching the skies, and if you love chasing the mysteries that lie beyond our world, hit subscribe, because the next discovery might just change everything we thought we knew about space.